Morning, happy Tuesday, happy new week for the Plant-Based Morning Show. It's July 23rd, which means what? I don't know what that means. Not a whole lot. Just means midsummer, a lot of hot days. And
it means the Olympics are about to start, right?
Olympics are about to start. When's the opening ceremonies for that, Doug? Maybe Thursday, Friday?
I think the 26th is what I have in my head, but I don't know. Let's look it up. But I don't know. Are you like an opening ceremony guy?
No, I was just ready to give a hot take and say that is some of the worst television you can watch. Is that
not a hot take? I mean, it might be a hot take. I don't know, but I agree with you. We're
parade where they go around and
we're aligned here. I think it's the worst. It's so boring.
Yeah, I guess because it's once every 4 years, people forget that it's just terrible and put it on out of the excitement. But yeah, it's just no good.
I mean, there's a show, right? I mean, the show can be kind of good, I guess. But then, like, once the parade starts, it's done.
Yeah, right. Nobody needs to see that. You know what? The Olympics in general, I feel like they need. Maybe it's like too big, but I feel like every year I'm into the Olympics, the idea of it, and then after 3 days, I just lose track of things. I don't know what events have happened. If I missed things that I didn't know when the stuff I was interested in was starting. It's just like I don't know. I feel like they need like an oversight, like a main hub for the Olympics, and I don't know. I don't know how you fix that. It's just too big.
I mean, I think that's probably NBC Sports or something, right?
Yeah, I guess. And maybe that's the problem. I don't have those normal channels. So yeah, I don't know. Not something to fix. It's just that's what happens when you have all these sports.
This may be obvious to everyone, but it wasn't for me until like I don't know, a couple Olympics ago when I realized that it's really split into two different weeks, right? You have like your gymnastics one week, and then you have your swimming the next week, and you have your track 1 week, and then you have your whatever the next week. So you can kind of like think of the schedule as two different schedules, and this week I'm going to focus on all the swim things, and this I'm going to focus on all the track things, and
so that actually might help me. I did know that about the big events. Is that true of the small events too? That like if there's not going to be an event that starts 3 or 4 days into the Olympics, that they all start on day 1 or 2, and then they all are done.
I mean, some of them, like basketball, I think goes throughout the entire thing. When there's like big tournaments, they last longer. But I think a lot of the sports are like first week or second week.
Well, I don't know.
So figure out what sport you like: badminton, ping pong, and archery. Get those down. Look at the schedule. Figure out when they are, and make it happen.
And then I just assume I'm going to find a TV channel that has them on.
Yeah.
Are they on
Peacock? You gotta get Peacock.
Okay, that's good. I had that. Yeah, you know what? I'm not that into the Olympics this year. I'm going to call that out right now. It doesn't seem that exciting. But
that's a hot take. I'm excited about it. I'm excited about the Olympics.
Good. All right. Well, no one has called out the gray memo yet today. I thought somebody, if we chatted for 5 minutes like that, I thought somebody would have chimed in and said, I missed the gray memo. But yes, we both have gray shirts on today, and that was not by design, of course. But what are you going to do? So anyway, yeah, I don't know. I don't have too much in the way of updates. I keep doing this 75 hard thing, except I can't even call it that anymore because I'm so flexible and lenient. Like I forgot to eat salads on 2 of the days. I forgot that I even had to eat salads on 2 of the days. So then I changed my rule to incorporate the other thing that I wanted, which was I wanted to not eat the plant-based meats much, but I wanted to allow some. So I've changed my rule to say, if I eat plant-based meats on a day, then I must have a salad that day. So ideally, I'm eating that salad all the time. But the absolute must is if I'm going to eat a plant-based meat, I must balance it out with a salad. So that's one adjustment. And then yesterday I had a glass of wine just out of nowhere, just said, you know what? I feel like having a glass of wine. I'm not listening to this no alcohol thing. So I did that too.
Okay.
So I'm not doing the challenge anymore.
So basically the challenge is over.
But the walking, I just walked this morning. I keep doing that 2 days a week. When it thunderstorms or something, I end up doing kettlebells or bench press or whatever instead.
You said 2 days
actually very nice.
2 times a day?
What? Yeah, 2 times a day. Sorry. Walking twice a day, except if it's thunderstorming and I can't do one of the walks, then I will do weights. And that's actually a nice little bit of randomness where it's not. I think we need more randomness in our fitnesses and our diets than we typically have, the way you would probably have in nature. So I actually like that little plan. So it's working.
What are you doing on these long walks? You listening to something? You studying?
Yeah, I mean, I listen to something, or I just like an audiobook, or I don't do anything, or I listen to a like a Twitter space. But yeah, it just kind of just depends what I feel like. Sometimes I don't want to listen to anything, and sometimes I do.
You know what I did this morning for the first time in months, maybe.
What?
I slept in through my group run.
Oh yeah,
Tuesday morning group run
on purpose. Like you hit the alarm, said I'm not doing it.
Yep. I said I'm just feeling really tired, and I'm gonna keep sleeping.
Mm-hmm.
And it was good. The whole house slept till 8 o'clock, so which is very unusual that we all sleep that late. So it was kind of nice.
Yeah, that is really nice. It's a rare thing. So I think that it was the right decision you made.
I think so too.
Will your friends be mad at you? Like, does that lose you a little bit of credibility in the group?
Yeah, a little bit, maybe. You know, I'm a consistent. I mean, when other people waver, I'm always there. You know, and so people can rely on me. And I just lost their trust. I lost their, no, it's fine.
All right, well, it's okay. You're human.
That's right. We got 75 flexible, says Jessica. 75 not so hard, says Kate. Helen said she's doing a 10-day kind of hard in August, doing 31 hard.
Yeah, and that's a good thing if you're motivated to do that. I've really loved what I'm doing. It's actually great. Definitely having a glass of wine was a big curveball yesterday. I don't know why I did it. I just wanted it, and I don't know why I didn't mind. But we'll see.
Yeah, the interesting thing is like now today when you want that glass of wine, is it gonna
go? Exactly. I had that exact thought because that's my thing. Is if I have one, I'm just going to want it the next evening, and it will gradually creep back into being every day. So that's my big challenge. Can I turn it into a couple times a week? I mean, I don't even know. I just read something yesterday. This might have been what inspired me. I read someone questioning some of the statistics around drinking and cancer risk and saying that there's this huge nonlinear phenomenon happening, that people who are heavy drinkers, they are the vast majority of the cancer cases that occur. It's sort of so it's like someone who drinks 5 drinks a day has much more than 5 times the cancer risk of someone who drinks 5 people who drink one drink a day. Mm-hmm. Right? Makes sense. And so, but the studies average it out over everybody, and they say this many drinks increases cancer risk by this much. But if you actually stay in the light or even moderate category, you have much lower than the quote unquote average risk. So, that inspired me. It said, man, I can do this. Anyway, that's it. That's all we got for that kind of chat. Let's get to our weather report. We got a few interesting items, and then we got this thing from the Daily Mail.
That.
What?
You didn't ask how I was doing.
Oh, I thought you just said so. You slept in.
No, no, that's true. I did.
Okay, what's going on in your life that's so exciting that we have to?
Oh, nothing, not much. Okay. I've been painting a lot. My mother-in-law just bought a house nearby, and I've been painting some internal rooms in her house. And I go through phases. Sometimes I'm out there and I'm like, this is the worst. And other times I'm like, oh, it's kind of satisfying, just kind of meditative. Don't have to think about anything. So.
Yeah, I can see that. I mean, yeah, for the most part, not good, but I've done that where it's kind of satisfying. Although it's not even your own house.
It's not my own house. Yeah, and that is the hard part. Yeah.
Yeah, that is really hard. But you're doing a good deed.
Yeah.
All right, good. Glad to hear that.
All right, now you can move on. Thank you for that. I appreciate it.
You're welcome. All right, on to the weather report. We got some good stuff. And then, by the way, we had this thing later from the Daily Mail. Kind of an interesting story about a woman who goes vegan, sort of as a test, I guess, for her health, and discovered some interesting things. So we'll talk about that in a minute. But here we go. 2 bits of slutty vegan news today, Doug. Some of our favorite news. First of all, kind of a I don't know if suspicious is the right word, but their Birmingham location has mysteriously closed, and there's no sign that it will reopen. This is not the first time it closed. It closed a few months ago, but that was for some kind of maintenance or something that was happening. Pinky Cole has said in an AL.com interview that the Birmingham, did I say Birmingham or did I say Binghamton?
You said Birmingham.
Okay. The Birmingham Slutty Vegan is actually profitable, she said, which I guess was maybe a surprise to people because of the location. I don't really know. But anyway, so she says it's profitable, but now it's closed. So I don't know. Wouldn't be. I mean, that would have to be one you'd pick that would not last very long. It just doesn't seem like it's. I mean, Atlanta's still. Well, you know what? That's not fair. I don't know about Birmingham. I think Birmingham is such a southern place that there'd be no interest in veganism, but it's still a city, so I don't really know.
Yeah. I don't know. It's a bummer. Maybe it's an issue with their landlord or who knows, the city.
Yeah, maybe.
Like the
I mean, it
government.
also could just be that they expanded way too fast because they have continued to do interesting things and open up new restaurants while everyone else is failing. So it's possible that it's Roman Empire style. Got too big, too fast, and now they can't control things at the outskirts. Now they're subject to attacks from the Visigoths and all those Germanic tribes and things.
You know how to just ease people's concerns. Just put out a little notification about it. Tell people what's up.
Yeah, right. Which they're not doing, which means it's probably done.
Yeah.
But they're not done, and they're not done with the South either, because in Nashville, just in 2 weeks from now, actually in about 1 week from now, they have a highly anticipated residency coming, which basically means sort of pop-up restaurant, I guess. From August 1st through 7th, they're serving up popular vegan burgers at 6917 Lenox Village Drive. So if you were in Nashville, like our friend Jeff Sanders of 5 a.m. Miracle,
yep,
you can go get a nice Slutty Vegan burger. We're not going to road trip to there. Are we, Doug, even longer than the drive to Atlanta just to get that?
No, I doubt it. But I feel like Nashville's actually a pretty good spot for a Slutty Vegan.
Yeah, I mean, that to me seems like very different from Birmingham. Nashville just seems, hip and cool. And
yeah,
again, not fair to Birmingham because I was there a long time ago, but it just sounds like it's not hip and cool, but I don't really know.
What's the cheese, the fancy cheese?
Slut Dust?
No, Julie Pyatt's cheese brand.
Mm-hmm.
They opened up in Nashville. Their first and only store, I believe, was in Nashville. They chose Nashville. So,
it's not Memphis.
It might be Memphis. It might be Memphis. Now that you say that.
Okay. Well, it's in Tennessee, so.
Yeah, same thing.
All right. This from Plant-Based News. Billie Eilish, everyone's favorite vegan singer, except for mine because I don't know any of her songs still. She recently appeared on the popular show on YouTube, Chicken Shop Date, which is hosted by comedian Amelia de Moldenberg. Doug, do you know this? Sounds like kind of your sort of thing.
No.
Yeah. I mean, I guess someone just did a knockoff of that. What's that show called? Hot Ones?
Uh-huh.
Sounds like that, where they said, let's find something for people to eat. In this case, it's vegan nuggets and fries. At the start of the episode, I'm not getting this. Maybe someone else can inform us. De Moldenberg told Billie Eilish, I got you vegan chicken nuggets and chips for lunch because I'm not available on the menu yet. And then Billie Eilish replied, damn, I was really hoping that it could be you. Somehow these things are dates and they're flirtatious. And I think that was what they were alluding to. I just don't get it, but that's what happened.
Anyway, it's a date, chicken shop date, right? They go on a little date.
Yeah, but who talks like that on a date? I mean, that's like crazy.
You don't talk like that?
I mean, I guess it's like a first date, so I don't know.
That's how I wooed Katie.
Is it?
Yeah. Here's your vegan chicken nuggets. The best I could do because I am not on the menu yet.
Yeah. Okay. So there's Billie Eilish for you. And last but not least, I don't think we talked about this before. I think I bypassed this. Unli Meat, which makes Korean barbecue products, but vegan versions. They have launched at Sprouts Farmers Market. 400 of those stores nationwide. They've got the original Korean barbecue, pulled pork, and bulgogi, which is traditionally beef, made out of wheat gluten or seitan, etc. And there you go. One of them has soy protein blend or something. So yeah, I mean, I don't know. I don't really care about this too much, but if I saw it, I might try it. I don't know. You know what? The meats in the packages, which is a lot of times what these seems like the Korean vegan meats are. I don't get them. It's like you with you don't really want to buy stuff that's like been already dressed up. You kind of want to add those things yourself.
Yeah.
So that's why I guess I don't know. You tend to think it's going to be more sodium and things, and not so fresh and just not as good.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. I'm not that excited about this. But you, Doug, can make a little bibimbap vegan.
Say that again.
You're gonna make a little bibimbap.
That sounds pretty good.
That's it.
I don't make much like Korean food. That would be pretty good.
You don't make much. So what would be an example of something like one recently?
I don't make any Korean food. I don't make any Korean food, but that sounds really good. You know what? You know what I'm really into right now, though.
Okay. What?
I think you know how you've kind of moved away from plant-based meats. I have too. It's been a natural thing. We just overdid it, I think.
Yeah.
Also, just way too much money, honestly.
Yeah.
Tofu is so much cheaper. But seitan, and I talk about it sometimes, but I don't know. I like it. You can make really good seitan, and it tastes just as good as a lot of the vegan meats do.
You said you can make it or get it.
I mean, you can get it and season it and have it be,
Right.
Taste a lot like chicken or whatever. Give it a lot of that same texture that you get from vegan meats.
Yeah, I agree with you on that one. And you can make it too, and it's very good too. Which is actually sometimes good because you can't always get it so easily at stores. Maybe in the Asheville Black Mountain area you can, but we can't really find it except like if it's already made in the shape of hot dogs or whatever, then you can get it. But yeah, you know what? And that's a change because when I started out being vegan, I remember this when we first moved to Asheville. So I was 2 years into being vegan at that point. I remember seeing seitan on places like a Plant restaurant, and I would get it, and I'd be pretty happy with it. I liked how Plant did it, but in general, I was still not sold on seitan. Like it was close enough to being like chicken-like, but it was still too soft or something. And I think I've just over time come to forget what the real texture is like. And so now I love seitan, and I agree with you. Like I think it's way more exciting to see that on a menu than a tofu dish.
Right.
It's just going to be meatier and you can do a lot of good things with it. So yeah, I'm with you. I'm all about the seitan. But it's funny that has changed because it definitely was. I was not such a fan before.
All right. So wheat gluten, nothing particularly bad about that, right? I think that the argument is that it does like the protein's not very bioavailable, right?
Yeah, that's one of the arguments. A lot of people do think wheat gluten is particularly bad, but if you're not in that crowd, then yeah, it's not so bad.
And what do you think? What's your take?
I think it's good. I don't know. I'm not sure. Is it better or worse than refined flour? I don't know. I mean, you remove the carbohydrate, a lot of the carbohydrate. There's still some there, but like it's a step beyond refined flour. So I don't know. That's why I'm like I still can't call that a health food at all. But I don't know. I don't think it's like directly bad for you. Like it does not like it just something makes you less healthy. But I think inflammation maybe. I don't know, but just never check that. I don't know how to check that really.
Yeah.
All right. Well, Garuda Legends is checked in, so that's good. Always good to see Garuda show up.
Britter says she loves seitan carne asada. Sounds great. And Jessica says that she would love to see you on a date.
Yeah, I'm good on a date. I'm big. I keep my cards close to the vest. I play the waiting game, right? No need to even attempt a first kiss or first hug. You just keep waiting, and then that makes eventually you make her chase you. Basically, eventually she says, "What's with this guy? He doesn't seem to be that interested, and yet he is interested." And then eventually they just can't resist. That's how I wooed Aaron. It actually is.
Or are you just too awkward to make the first move?
Right. That's what it is. And it's couched in this idea of a waiting game.
Yeah.
That is true. And it's actually not a very effective way, I don't think, to do dating. I think you don't want to show a lack of interest typically.
Yeah. I mean, I think generally outside of once you get past maybe like 18 or 19, games are not a good way to
right.
Playing games with people is not the way to get to their heart. But I don't know. I've been out of the dating game for many years, so it's
much different now than when we did it. I mean, completely different.
I'm so glad. I'm not dating now.
Yeah. Carne asada, by the way, is really good. When you can make seitan carne asada, I've had that many times. Somehow that's, I guess, because it turns out so well, you always find that, and it's good.
How do you make it carne?
Oh, I don't know. I mean, you just put asada spices on there.
Okay.
I think asada just means grilled, right?
Yeah.
Well, you put the same spices that they would put on that, and turns out good. All right, let's get to our article. Daily Mail has this one. It's an exclusive. Big red tag says exclusive. Daily Mail health reporter goes vegan for a month after tests showed she was at risk for major diseases. What happened next shocked her, but left her miserable. So there you go. There's your setup. Long headline. I mean, okay. So I guess the summary is this woman who lives in New York City considers herself healthy. 28 years old. Not great shape, but decent shape. She works out. She cooks balanced things. Tries to limit alcohol, etc. But a few weeks ago, a blood test revealed that she had high LDL, elevated triglycerides, and raised glucose. So these are signs of an unhealthy person. In two dimensions here, right? You've got the heart stuff and potential diabetes, and usually with those, probably a raised cancer risk as well. Just I would say they're correlated. So not good. So anyway, she decides she's going to do a vegan diet. Where did she get this vegan idea, Doug? Do you see that?
No, I didn't. I missed that.
Yeah, she doesn't really tell why she chose vegan. It's just, I mean, it does seem kind of like an odd choice now because everyone just says it's not healthy anymore. Falsely. I mean, they're wrong in my opinion. But they assume it means all these plant meats and that it's unhealthy. Anyway, but she said this was as good a time as any to try going vegan for 3 weeks. So she did. Her last meal: McDonald's chicken nuggets, fries, and a vanilla shake. She had all that. One last go, and then decided to do it. So then she starts detailing what she did. So I mean, I'm hesitant to get into this, but like it kind of is the whole article. So
stuff like that.
Yeah, I mean, this could have been written in 2016, 17, 18, and it would have been the same article. So I don't really.
I mean, here's the gist. Basically, she eats a whole lot of junk food.
Yep.
Like vegan meats and eggs and cheese and things like that.
And doesn't like them generally. A few of them she says are okay, but for the most part, one Beyond Meat's like cat food. The cheese doesn't melt. It tastes like something, but just doesn't taste like cheese. That's valid in my opinion. Only thing good is this hot dog from her go-to bar, which looks to me like it's a tofurkey dog. Dried out, cooked, way overcooked.
Way overcooked. Says she had to pay extra for it.
Yeah, but she said that one was good. She said that's for at least for a bit. She forgot how much she missed meat when she ate that hot dog. So that's what she did as far as junk food. All right, you can continue, Doug. Continue summarizing.
Well, and just that she was miserable the whole time, that eating that food.
Yes. She mentions that a few of the most enjoyable meals she had: a chickpea and spinach curry with coconut milk and spiced lentils over rice. Which I guess is okay. I mean, that sounds good. I don't know why you would eat. Like if you were making chickpea and spinach curry, why would you also make lentils? I don't understand that. But if whatever, she's new. Maybe she saw a recipe that called for a whole dish. At one event, she could only eat pita and hummus, so she didn't like that. Now, as much as this, we want to say this girl's not giving it a fair shake or whatever, like that's totally valid. And like I hate that about it as far as the health goes. It like a lot of times if you're vegan for an ethical reason, and I guess for a health reason too, you sometimes make things that aren't. You eat what's probably not the healthiest thing at a place. In this case, she was left with pita and hummus only, and that happens. Sometimes that's your dinner, and it's not the best dinner, but it's okay, and it's in service of maybe the greater good, which is that if you were keep eating this way and keep having these rules, most of the time it's going to cause you to make a healthier decision than you otherwise would. Anyway, and then the best thing she had on her final night of veganism, a friend made her last meal, broccoli farro stew with capers and parsley. And she put a picture of this thing. I mean, and like, sort of that tells the whole story. You don't have this up, do you, Doug?
I don't, no.
Well, it just doesn't look very good. And for her to say that's her best meal in 3 weeks, I mean, no wonder she ends up, spoiler, not liking this diet. I mean, I'm sure that tasted good. I'm not saying that was a bad dish. It's just, I don't think it's anybody's idea of this is my best meal.
Yeah. Yeah. And I mean, so she comes back, she sees improvements in her numbers. her vitamin D level went up, which was low.
So that's interesting, right? Because
Mhm.
she didn't mention that with a plant-based diet you need to supplement with vitamin D, but hers actually went up.
Her iron levels dropped by 30%, putting her below the normal range. That was a negative, I guess. I mean, but the gist of it is basically that everything came back positive for the most part, but she still didn't want to do it because she was miserable. And I think, honestly,
Hold on,
is
we
probably
gotta the big things she wanted to do changed. Her cholesterol improved
right.
By a lot. Let me find the number. Sorry. Okay. Nope. Sorry. Well, it moved back into the normal range. I was thinking that was 30%, but no, that's the iron. So she moved that back into the normal range. So this did what she wanted it to do. Does she mention triglycerides at the end? I don't think she really does. That's too bad. I'd like to know what happened there. But anyway, so yeah, so she does that, and then her ending final lines are, okay. She said, "I'm thankful to have my cholesterol back in the normal range. I know it's something I'll have to monitor more closely to make sure it doesn't creep back up. However, I'm much more likely to do that by adding more plant-based proteins like legumes into my diet and cutting down on fast food, plus getting a few more workouts in." So what's the however there? I don't understand that. Like that sounds like she's going to keep doing vegan stuff to do that.
Yeah. Yeah. Gonna eat
But,
more vegetables and vegan food.
right,
Yeah, I
plant-based
mean, I
protein.
don't know. I mean, like the whole thing is kind of a hit piece on veganism or how it's too hard. But I think that's like the reality for a lot of people who maybe jump in and try to immediately just replace all the meals that they normally have with plant-based meats and eggs and all this stuff. And and then they don't like it very much and it's hard and whatever, versus finding out good healthy foods that are easy to, recipes that are easy to cook that you can replicate quickly, and easing into it, trying it out, introducing a couple of meals a week, that kind of thing, getting comfortable with it, learning how to handle social situations when you're at a party and all you can eat is hummus and pita, and then move on. I mean, like, I don't know. I think this is why so many people give up after just a week, because even if they see positive numbers, they see positive impact, it just feels too hard.
Yeah. And so her final line is, "I miss cheese too much to ever give it up again." So that kind of explains, I guess, what her strategy is here. She's saying, "I'm not going to be vegan now. It's too hard. But the way I'm going to make healthy choices now is, I guess, do more plant-based things, more plant-based protein." So I guess she means the Beyond Meats and things. Oh, no, she says like legumes. So she's going to do more of that. By the way, up above the photos, is why I missed it earlier. She does talk about her LDL and triglycerides. Her LDL cholesterol decreased by 7%, back in the normal range. So that's good. I mean, those things, there's a lot of noise in those tests and calculations. So I'm not saying that the vegan diet didn't help, because our best evidence is that it actually did. But 7%, I don't know how big a move that is. If LDL's what, 80-ish, maybe 7% would be down to 74 or something. Anyway, so I don't know. I mean, decent little move. And then her triglycerides dipped by 15%. And glucose dropped by 6%. Triglycerides, I mean, that can move from drinking less alcohol for sure. That will immediately do it. But this is good. I mean, I'm just trying to be fair here. But healthy lifestyle, including plant-based diet, this is good results. So I guess back to the headline is that she doesn't express a lot of shock in this article. She just sort of matter of factly states what happened. That's what she was shocked about, right?
Yeah, I guess she was shocked that she saw improvements in her levels, and then decided not to. I don't know. It's a Daily Mail.
Yeah.
Everything was shocking.
And I guess that's why I'm asking these questions, because you called this a hit piece on veganism. And that's what we're used to. Like the media just, hates on veganism all the time. But is this a little bit of a shift here? Because Daily Mail, not a pro-vegan site typically at all. To say that what happened next shocked her in the headline, that's kind of saying, look what a vegan diet did for this woman. And that's exactly what the article says. And she says it helped. That's very different from all this sensationalized, taken out of context headlines saying that that it's bad for you. They do mention in the article, she mentions in her writing, talking about plant meats, it doesn't help that some recent research suggests consuming vegan meat is linked to up to a 15% increased risk of heart attacks and strokes. And that's the one that's completely wrong, because plant meat was 0.1% of the mix of ultra processed foods that they were talking about that does have that potential 15% increase in risk. It's just dishonest to say that is, or just completely ignorant to say that's due to the plant meats. So they couldn't help but getting that. The article is that this vegan diet, even with these plant meats, is helping someone get healthier. And then she put fairly that it's hard, and it's hard to do it that way. So I don't know. Are you frozen for me, Doug? It looks like we're getting real choppy. I hope audio is working.
Yeah, I can hear you fine. Yeah, I mean, I guess that's true. I call it the hit peak because the whole first half is just about how terrible vegan fake foods are, like mock meats and cheeses.
Yeah, but I mean, what health outcome? It's not a health outcome. It's a proxy, right? She points to the blood levels of things, and they show that the diet as a whole fixed that, despite whatever theories someone might have about what kind of inflammation or what plant-based meats do in your system, or the stuff in beans, phytate, right? All this idea about what this stuff might do, but then when you look at the actual outcomes or the best proxies we have for those health outcomes, you get positive results. So that's what I was happy to see. And surely no one reading this will actually think enough to get that idea. But anyway, I don't know. This in general, I'm happy with this.
Yeah. All right. Well, good. There you go. Matt Frazier, new Daily Mail enthusiast.
Yeah. But like you said, I mean, it is kind of too bad that this is what gets the attention, is these attempts to go fully vegan right away. Because it's hard. I mean, that's a really hard way to do it. It's not how I did it. I was vegetarian for 2 whole years before I eased into being vegan. So yeah, I can fully understand why, if you just did this after about 3 weeks, you'd say that's enough for now. I'm gonna go back to this whole way and then hope to do more of this. But that's fine. This, by the way, is how I went vegan. Like I just said this wasn't, but what I actually did up close was I was vegetarian for 2 years. Then I did a vegan 30-day challenge. So about 3 weeks, a little longer than 3 weeks, but 3 weeks. Found that it was good, found that it worked. But at the end, I was just not ready to give up cheese, just like this woman. And so I came back to it. But then over time, in the next 6 months, I just sort of gradually, without really trying, started reducing cheese. And then finally, I was basically vegan. And I said, well, hey, now I'm actually it. So that very thing could happen to her, or anyone who tries a challenge that is 3 weeks like this.
Mm-hmm.
Who knows? All right. Let's see what we got here. Someone says
comments from Animals Are Individuals, AAI, which we can read through if we want. But he does ask a question. Where do you personally get iodine, Matt and Doug?
Oh, yeah. Perfect opportunity for an advertisement. Exactly. Our supplement, Complement is the name of it. Lovecomplement.com. That's where we get our iodine. I also get it in iodized salt, which I don't use all the time. I have kosher salt and like regular, more finely granulated salt, which is iodized. Yeah, I don't know. I've heard that the iodine in salt actually doesn't help much because a lot of it off gases. So I take that supplement, our supplement. So there you go. And vitamin D also mentioned. That's also in there. Along with what, 6 other things that tend to need. AI says Garuda's lying to you. That's not fair. All Garuda said was hello. Let's be fair to Garuda. I know Garuda has a reputation in these vegan circles. Definitely has the dissenting opinion a lot, but I think it adds to the discussion.
Leslie Knight is writing Ragbri. I think that's how you pronounce it. Which it's like a group ride across Iowa. Thousands of people
riding a bike,
all riding multiple days across Iowa. It's supposed to be really fun, really cool.
Well, if you're going to ride a bike, I think riding in packs is probably the best way to do it. I'm guessing that's safer than.
It might even be on closed roads. I don't know.
Oh yeah, well there you go. That's extra safe. I like that.
I might be wrong about that. I don't know. But giant group ride.
Yeah. Good.
Have fun. Let us know how
Definitely.
it goes.
Have fun. Good luck. All right. AAI says it's not difficult when you think about the individuals affected by your decisions. I don't agree with that. Like I that's entirely what I was thinking about when I tried to be vegan for 30 days, and it was too difficult for me. I just wasn't, as much as I wanted to be. Like I just couldn't overcome this desire to feel like I just didn't want to give up cheese yet. But then I got there eventually, and now it's not difficult because I'm used to it. But I don't know. I think in any sort of thing, when you drastically try to transition to something, it's going to be difficult no matter what. Not no matter what. Maybe there are certain motivations that would not make it difficult, but like if you're ready to die, right? If you find out from the doctor that you have to do this or you're going to die, maybe it's like suddenly easy, which is kind of my mom's situation. She had a 99% blockage in her artery, and then overnight basically went plant-based after she visited us, went vegan. And it was easy. She never really had any problems. She eats healthier than I do now, because she had that leverage, that like if you don't do this, you might die.
How has her blockage changed?
Yeah, it's much smaller. She's not as hesitant as I am to say this is smaller. It's due to this thing, because it's sort of different measurements that they're using. And I don't know. She's got some sort of like fancy scan, 3D scan recently, and it shows how much the blockage is reduced. I think it's down to like 33 or 60 some percent, very, very low compared to 99.
Wow, that's great.
Which the only reason I'm like hesitant to say like, hey, look what happened with the plant-based diet is because that's so outside the realm of like what people say is doable even with a plant-based diet. So I'm just like, I just, don't know how to, I don't want to go shout that from the rooftops, but it's great. And she's extremely happy with it. And she's still eating that way after it's been like 5 or 6 years now, I think.
She says it's 0.
It's 0. So there you go. Even more reason. I don't, I just don't, it's hard for me to believe that. But
buy it. Love it.
Anyway, I think she said she was going to try to get the proof, get it done, get the other one, the old thing converted to this new format or something so that they could be compared apples to apples. I don't know. All right. Anyway, but thank you, Mom, for chiming in. And AAI, one more, he chimes in here with his or her or their response. It is not difficult when you think, oh no, sorry, he did that one. I think putting it into perspective that it's much easier for you than it is for the animals is what I mean. It can allow you to overcome those difficulties. Yeah, for sure. I'm right. The ethical part, I think people who are ethical vegans, they tend to last way longer than those who are sort of tourists, right? Who are just trying for the health thing. But people who are ethical tend to stick with it because I think for exactly that reason.
Yeah.
And my mom has been 8 years, not 5 or 6. Time flies. Look at that.
And all right. Shout out to Mama Frazier from Britain.
Yeah, good. All right. Well, yeah, that's it. We're not going to stretch it any longer than needed. Anyone? I think AAI is new. I don't know, but anyway, thanks for showing up. Like to have new people here, and thanks to all the regulars who aren't new who showed up. Yeah, we never did a roll call. Never went through and said all the names of everybody. So thanks to those who checked in. Okay, that's it. Anything else, Doug? Before we take a break?
No, excuse me.
You're coming down with something. Hope you might not be here tomorrow.
Oh, I hope not. I hope that's, or I hope so. I hope I am here. I hope I'm not coming down soon.
Yeah, me too. All right. Well, then we will talk to you all tomorrow. Thanks for showing up.
Bye.
Bye.